The Supreme Court on Wednesday, day before yesterday, in a 5-4 decision in a case called Williams-Yulee v. Florida Bar, the Supreme Court said that the states may, quote, prohibit judges and judicial candidates from personally soliciting funds for their campaigns. So this is John Roberts writing for the court. He wrote, states may regulate judicial elections differently than they regulate political elections because the role of judges differs from the role of politicians. Politicians are expected to be appropriately responsive to the preferences of their supporters. Really? Honest to God, the Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court wrote that in a Supreme Court decision? He said, indeed, such responsiveness is key to the very concept of self-governance through elected officials. Well, yes, if you're talking about what the people want you to do, then, yeah, we elect officials. You know, people wanted Social Security. We elected officials who brought us Social Security. People wanted unionization. But that's a completely different thing than the preferences of your supporters. He goes on to say the same is not true of judges. In deciding cases, a judge is not to follow the preference of his supporters or to provide any special consideration to his campaign donors. Instead, he's got to observe the utmost fairness and all that kind of thing. So basically yesterday, John Roberts issued a ruling, or, a Supreme Court decision saying that politicians are supposed to do what their supporters tell them to. Keep in mind, the context of this decision was money for election campaigns being given to judges. And he's saying, no, it's fine that money is given to politicians because we expect politicians to respond to the people who are giving them the money. Or at least that's how I'm reading this. And that's, certainly was that logic can be found in Citizens United. But judges, they're not supposed to be responsive they're supposed to be responsive to the law. Now, I understand that. But to say that politicians are, this is like Alice in Wonderland stuff. And it's an indication of how out of touch this court, or at least the 5 right-wing crazy majority on this court, the Tea Party majority on the Supreme Court, how out of touch they are with just fundamental notions of democratic institutions, small d democratic institutions, or small r Republican institutions, democratic institutions in a republic, for that matter.